Like the waves in the ocean, every great athlete has an internal rhythm that compels them forward. A rhythm that in many ways is reflected in the ancient traditions of these magnificent islands. For the men and women competing today, that internal rhythm reaches down into the essence of the athlete. It is what allows them to go past normal levels of pain and endurance. And they're going to need that today. Yes, this is a triathlon. No, it's no ordinary triathlon. This is the XTERRA World Championship. Nearly 500 athletes, all challenging body and testing soul. Former German Olympic swimmer Jan Siebersen is first out of the water after one of the 2 laps that comprise the mile-long rough water swim. Not far behind is last year's champion, number 1, Aneko Llanos of Spain. The defending women's champion, Melanie McQuaid of British Columbia, Canada, is once again among the leaders as she negotiates the beach for the first time. Severson finishes the mile swim in a blistering 18 minutes 45 seconds. But there's no time for celebration. Among those close behind is a man out for redemption. Two-time champion Conrad Stoltz. His chance for a three-peat last year was marred by a series of mishaps. Caution is the word of the day for Stoltz. Off-road triathlon's greatest day is underway.
The CBS Sports Spectacular Nissan XTERRA World Championship is sponsored by Nissan, proud sponsor of the XTERRA World Championship. Paul Mitchell, remember, only your salon can guarantee the real Paul Mitchell. And by Hawaii, the islands of Aloha.
The first waves of competitors escaped the clutches of the Pacific. Safely onto the shores of Wailea, Melanie McQuaid has relished her title of defending champion. Based on her experience, McQuaid feels that the swim and upcoming bike portions of the race is where she must create separation between herself and her fiercest rival, American Jamie Whitmore. For her part, Whitmore has won virtually every major international XTERRA race except one.
This is the one race that has eluded me. It's been in my grasp and then it's been gone. I want it bad. I definitely am not going to go down without a fight this year.
Jamie finds herself behind McQuaid by only 35 seconds as she prepares to take the fight to the volcano. The Frenchman Sylvain Daudet has overtaken Jan Severson on the half-mile run from the beach, past the Grand Wailea Resort and Spa to the Paul Mitchell transition area. And a host of challengers are hot on his heels. The defending men's champion, Eneko Llanos, has company. His brother, Hector, and Olivier Marceau, the European XTERRA Series champion. The next wave into transition is led by Conrad Stoltz, looking for any sign to erase ugly memories of last year's race.
Last year's I got 5 flats and I crashed. The race went really badly. Even though I had great form, I was leading by a good bit. It was very disappointing. My dream was to win 3 XTERRA World Championship titles in 3 years. And it was really tough to cope with that. Since the day after the race, for the whole last year, I've been thinking about this race every single day, hoping to come back and get revenge and claim back what was, I feel was mine, you know?
For Conrad, so far so good, and the bike is where he is at his best. For the women, as expected, it's quickly become a two-person battle. For many of these competitors, XTERRA is more than just a race. It's an affirmation of their character and determination, where they've come from, the road they've traveled to get here. And no one in today's race has come as far as this man, Willie Stewart.
In 1980, I was 18 years old. I had a summertime job and I was working in the Watergate building in Washington, D.C. And I was working underneath the cooling tower and a rope came in and the frayed ends of the rope went up into a fan. but I happened to be holding it at the same time, and it cut my arm off. From that on, life changed quite a bit. I didn't call it quits only because I actually did call it quits. I think for about 2 years I did call it quits, and they were the 2 worst years of my life right after I got hurt. A lot of people are cast aside in life, and I was cast aside. I mean, and it's an opportunity. It's like, and I didn't like it. I hate saying this, but I woke up one morning wading through a sea of beer cans to the bathroom, and I'm like, this is pathetic. I mean, I was 19 years old, and I'm like, is this what you want to be? I mean, basically a simple little thing like my bed wasn't made, and I said, you know what? I'm cleaning up my life. I'm going to start with making my bed. People who struggle or have a crisis in their life and realize that inside that crisis is an opportunity. And there's nothing like hitting rock bottom and bouncing. And once you're there, you open up a whole new world of tolerance, of empathy, because we're all in the same boat together, basically. I do a lot of the athletic competitions that I compete in and everything, because I think that personally I didn't think I could do it. And then so many other people kind of label you as if, well, you must do something now different because you've lost your arm or your spinal cord injured or you lost a leg. And I felt like, you do whatever you want. And I really love sports, and I love competing, I love competition, I love pushing myself to my limits. When I'm out there, I want to beat as many people as possible. I mean, I don't just want to be, hey, there's a one-arm guy racing. I want people to say, that dude was good.
Here's hoping the gods of Haleakala are kind to Willie Stewart today.
See you guys.
Maui, the perfect destination for anyone seeking beauty and adventure. No wonder they call Maui the Magic Island.